Hello and welcome to the C# tutorial for absolute beginners. In this introduction video, I will talk about who is this course for, what kind of software you will need, how I structure this course and what to expect, who will be talking to you and where I'm from, why am I doing another tutorial when there are so many already. In this course, I will assume that you don't have any experience in programming. If you know a little about programming or use Java or other C languages, this would be good for you as well. Most of all, you must have a desire to learn and willing to work hard. We will be using Visual Studio. It's a free version and the newest one right now is 2015. If you're watching this video later, then you might have another version, but they will be similar and you will be able to follow this course just fine. You will need Windows operating system and I will be using Windows 10. You might also want two monitors so you can watch the video on one and practice on the other, or just use two computers. To summarize the structures of this course, it will go in the following order. We will learn, then practice, learn, then practice, learn, then practice again. What we're not going to do is to learn, and learn, and only in the end do a final project when it will combine all the topics together. Many other courses online do that way, but they assume that you would practice on your own. And when I took those courses, I never really did anything on my own. I was just following the course outline, and I would finish the course and never really have any practice experience. Let me give you an example based on the construction analogy. Let's say we want to build this house, but first we would need to learn all the tools and how to use them. So we learn, and try to build it in the end after learning all these tools. There's a lot of them. But instead of this, we will get something like this, and that would be because of lack of experience and lack of practice of each tool. So I decided in this course to do the following. We will learn some basic tools, just enough to build a shelf, which in our case would be learning basics like variables, data types, math operators, how to take user input, and that would be just enough to build our first easy project. Next, we would take all the previous tools and learn new ones, and at the end we would build something like a bench. In our case, we would add to our programming knowledge things like if statements, boolean types, and logical operators, and be ready to build another a little more complicated program. Next, we will learn more complicated tools and build something more useful. Then learn more tools and build even more complicated programs. Then in the end, after we learn all the beginner tools, we will do small project that would combine all of the knowledge together. In this beginner course, we will not cover topics such as event handlers, delegates, lambda expressions. This would have to be included in the intermediate level and not for beginners. Everyone wants to build complex games and software, and it's good to keep us motivated, but we will have to master basic topics first before we move on. One more thing that we're not going to do in this course is making things look pretty. So what I mean here is that we will be making our programs. We will not worry about pretty things like colors, shadows, sizes. Basically, no user interface topics will be covered in this course. We will concentrate on the brain of the program. Calculations, data manipulations, and functionality will be our first priority. So we will use console applications, and our program output will look something like this. A little boring, but that's okay because we will be working on the back end of the program. I think you have a good idea now what is to come in this course, so let's move on to talk about me. My name is Oleg Zygalenko, and currently I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I went to college here locally in Charlotte, the University of North Carolina, and currently I work for a major bank here in Charlotte. And if you're wondering where I'm from because of my accent, I must say that I'm from Ukraine, and I moved here to United States in 1999. Why am I doing this course? Well, many reasons. First of all, I absolutely love teaching. I was a TA before in college, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. Someday I might even be a professor in college. I also want to contribute to open source. I got a lot of my knowledge from YouTube videos such as Bucky and many others. So I want to be a part of that. This is my personal quote that I came up with recently. But after Googling, I found out that there are many similar variations of that, like a quote by John Sonmez. On Twitter, he said that you never really learn something until you teach it. Well, he came up with that before this, so I think I will give that to him. Very smart guy. When I try to learn a new language or skill, it takes me a while to pick a course that I like because sometimes I just don't like the way they teach or the way they speak. So I hope that someone out there might like my style and will be happy to learn. In the next upcoming section, we will install the Visual Studio. Then we will learn about variables, data type, user input, math operators, and conversions. And after that, all that stuff, we will build a simple calculator as our first small project. I think that's it, and if you guys have any questions during any of my tutorials, please feel free to post them in the comments, or feel free to contact me directly through my website, codez7.com. I hope you guys are excited as I am about this course. It's my pleasure to record these videos, and I hope you will enjoy them just as much as I will. And I will see you in the next tutorial, and let's get started.